Yeah, I don't know why you not use iPhone, but I know you like open source. Yeah.
Exactly. I told him about this iPhone. I told him.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go buy like an iPhone off eBay or something, like a cheap one, because yeah.
Yeah, I guess you like technology. I know lots of people like Samsung, even young people. I know you're young, but you like technology. But
I like
me,
apps.
Samsung has cryptos. Apple
yeah,
doesn't, so screw them. We're crypto people here.
Yeah,
yes,
well, we should all be on Solana phones or crypto phones or something, but unfortunately, we're not all there yet. Oh, there's my co-host.
What? Why can't I be your co-host? What the fuck?
You can if you want, if you're gonna stay for the whole thing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right. I sent the co-host out. I gotta get Hermit to speaker first, and then I'll send him a co-host. Um, yeah. Hermit, how's it going? Everything good?
I got the power.
Yes, everything's good. Sorry, I was eating dinner and yeah, I lost track of time, so I'm sorry I'm late.
It's all right. I started actually early because I was afraid my microphone wouldn't work. I try to like adjust my microphone so I could play music, and no luck at all.
Oh my
So,
God, Andy's here.
I know. Watch, he's gonna like
He's gonna leave.
Yeah, he's gonna leave as soon as I sent him a state mic. We'll see. But if he joins the speaker, like there's gonna be like 50 anonymous listeners like in the grease trap. So I don't know. Either way, we're just gonna keep moving on. A lot of stuff to talk about, man. Hermit, we were talking about Robinhood. This has been a big thing, and then obviously X is giving away some money, and then I told you last week. I was doing some research on the Coinbase Bitcoin Premium Index, and for those that don't know, that is basically what the price of Bitcoin on. It keeps a journal or an index, a chart of the Bitcoin price on Coinbase. And so most of the time when you go on like Coinbase or crypto.com, you have to pay more for your Bitcoin. Um, it's actually right now for the last, I think, 60 to 90 days, it's like a record number of Bitcoins below. So not a lot of people what that means is not a lot of people, including institutions, are buying Bitcoin on Coinbase. And that kind of reflects what is going on in the United States, because Coinbase is the largest United States centralized exchange. So who is buying Bitcoin is what I want to get into, and then what happened. And so anyway, let's see here. Oh, someone's requesting up. Eureka Q from Australia. Okay. We got another Aussie in the house, Ming.
do you see Andy is a speaker?
Yep, now Andy's a speaker. What's up, Andy?
He's cooking, I guess.
Yeah, he's probably cooking. It's all good.
No. I
Mopping.
mean, I'm in the toilet, man. I'm in the toilet. Bye.
Oh, okay, well, yeah. Well, thanks for coming. There you go. The sound effects. Hermit just got disconnected. I gotta get Hermit back up here. Anyhow, yeah. So if you guys have been looking at Bitcoin, it's been dumping. Some people think it's a lot, and but it's pumped. Probably since what, July, the beginning of July 1st, is Bitcoin's been pumping all the way to from 57, 58K all the way to 67K. And now we're down to 64K. So Bitcoin has dropped about 3,000. And what I was thinking, because I was looking at this Coinbase index, so I'm looking at who would be buying Bitcoin if it's not from the United States institutions. And what I found out was, what is that? That is a Japanese Bitcoin treasury called MetaPlanet, and they're just like Michael Saylor, but they only have like 43,000 bitcoins only, right? They don't have 840,000 bitcoins, but their average was like 95,000. So like they decided to lower that to about 75,000, similar to where Strategy's at. So they've been buying a ton of Bitcoin at these lows. So that's where I see that, the Asian market, Japanese market has been buying up Bitcoin because it's not being bought up in the United States. What's up, Ming?
Yeah, I have a question I want to ask you if Andy here before he leave. I saw the news from Michael Saylor. He said the biggest threat for Bitcoin is from internal or whatever
Right, I
rules
saw
or
that.
power, not from external. What that means for Bitcoin? Do you thinking about that, or Andy can share some thoughts? Why
Yes,
is
they're gonna dump it.
Well, I mean, Andy can answer this. I wanted to talk to Andy about the
No,
Asian market, what's happening in South
no, but this
Korea and
is
stuff like that. But
oops.
go ahead, Andy.
No. I just reply pretty quickly to Ming is just like the post that I made yesterday in Chinese. I was saying that the our crypto's biggest enemy is never the government. Is always the people from within that is killing it,
Oh yeah, I
right?
did see that.
Whether it's the exchange, bad lobbying, or our own people extracting from our own people. Most times is done by us. So I do agree with Sailor's point. I think he was referring to the BIP 110, I think. And my biggest question, if I may, is, so what if no exchanges list that token? Would it then become a biggest joke? So this is just anyway. This is just so strange. Our space is just strange. After a while, you realize that. South Korean market is good, man, bro. Because of the AI chips and so forth. But if you look at the pure facts and numbers, I think many of the South Koreans are over leveraged, superly over leveraged on a national basis. So I don't know how long or how much uh, more they can go, you know. But yeah, I think it's very dangerous, for South Korea right now.
Yeah, their actual the stock market was crashing, and that's why I was thinking they were pulling out of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is becoming um, very important to the South Korean people. But we'll see if the government will allow it. I kind of wanted to talk about the Clarity Act and what Russia's doing too. I reposted Coin Market Cap. It seems like Russia is, passing some Clarity Acts similar to what we're trying to do. And then, they say they're going to try to vote on Clarity Act before August, but I'm very skeptical about it. What do you guys think?
No one is talking, then I'll just say again, I don't think it really matters, you know. But I mean, if right now they are like the previous USSR, maybe US will see them as a competition and give a fuck about it. But right now, I don't think US is going to give a damn on whether they are going to pass their own version of a Clarity Act or not.
No, that's a good point because that's what I was saying. Is like if Russia, passes these crypto laws or allows crypto before we do, I'm going to be pissed.
I think it is going to pass. Like, I think there's going to be like a kind of a dip before it passes and make it look like it's not passing. Because I think that institutions are buying right now. I don't think the bottom's in, but like Andy said, like I don't think it really. It's just going to be like the Clarity Act. I think is just going to be a pump, and then we're going to go back to this before we have the before we get back to the bull market. Because it's just kind of it's really like yeah, it's good, but it's not like what we need. We need users, and that's not going to come like overnight just because Clarity passed.
No, I agree. Clarity Act isn't going to change a whole lot. Not in the short term, but in the long term, I think it will. When institutional adoption starts to feel comfortable. I did want to. I mentioned that Senator Loomis, the architect behind the Clarity Act, she posted today about 7 hours ago. The big bank lobby is trying to say that all of Wall Street is opposed to the Clarity Act. That's complete false. And then she said, BlackRock's, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and Sophie, all support the Clarity Act. And I definitely agree with that. Funny she didn't mention strategy, but that's pretty much obvious. And then I said, we all know which Democrats are paid by the big bank lobby. And I showed Elizabeth Warren saying, I'm cool with that. We were talking about Elizabeth Warren the other day. She's old, and she has her talking points, and she hates crypto. When at some point, whether the Clarity Act passes this year or eventually, it's gonna happen because these old people that don't understand crypto are gonna be done. I think she's 77 years old. What's up, Ming? I think Ming has his hand up or not. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this Clarity Act. I'm very skeptical at this point. It was supposed to pass in July. It's the end of July. If they don't pass it before their August, I don't recess. I don't think they're going to pass it because then they're going to focus on the midterm, and they're not going to want to do any bipartisan laws at all. They're too afraid. So, but anyway,
next Thursday, man. Next week's gonna be big, bro. They recess on the Friday, right? So the last working days for Senate is Monday to Thursday next week.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll know in next week. It's going to be big, and plus, I thought you were going to mention the Feds. The Fed meeting is going on right now.
Yeah.
A lot. That's what's also kind of hurting the market. People are indecision leading up to the Fed. I personally, as a leverage trader, I love to trade this volatility. My bots, I've showed you guys my grid bots. It's been buy or selling and buying Bitcoin every $500. It's shorts at every time it goes up and down $500. So I think I've been running it like 30 something days. It's made over 100 trades, about 18% up. I could have closed it when Bitcoin was down in the lower part of the range, but I decided to leave it open, and I'm glad I did. But I'll probably close it if Bitcoin. I'll just talk to you guys about the Bitcoin price. And I know a lot of people hate it when you say, if this happens, it'll go down, and if this happens, it'll go up. But that's just how it goes. Like right now, Bitcoin's price is in between two liquidation zones. The $68,000 liquidations and the $61,000 liquidations. So we're closer to this, at almost 64,000, we're closer to the 61,000 liquidation. So most likely we'll go down. And if for whatever reason, it's like a 25% chance, if the Feds increase the rate, because apparently inflation's good and, we're definitely going down. So that's where I think I'm hedging, obviously, because Bitcoin's been going sideways. I'll tell you, I've been in a long for, I don't know how many days now, a lot. And I've been DCAing. I have a lot of dry powder, so I've been DCAing. I'm at 62,000, so I'm still in profit right now. I've been taking profit along the way. I've taken profit about 4 times. So I'm really just using my winnings as obviously I'll when I buy back in around 60,000, I'll probably rinse and repeat. I'm really hoping it goes down to that 52,000. That's what all the bears are waiting for it to get to 52,000. But we'll see. I think that if it's Bitcoin's going down, it's not going to go down without a fight. And that's kind of bullish because, that means that we're probably Bitcoin's going to heal by the end of the year. I thought it would take all year for Bitcoin to find a bottom. I may still be right. But we'll see. If this is a bottom, then great, because I'm already in. If it's not, I'm going to DCA down. I know a lot of people want to wait for the bottom. I can tell you when the bottom is when volume returns, and it hasn't not returned yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyhow, does anybody have any questions about Bitcoin? I want to talk about it because I want to move on about this Robinhood thing and what we're finding out.
Tex, are you thinking it's going to hit the 377? I think that's 50. The 377 EMA is like 52. I think the number you said.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would be the bottom on the chart. So what I'm looking at, I'm pulling my chart up right now, is I've been charting this downtrend, and I sent it. I don't know if you guys can throw it in the nest, but it hit like this midpoint of the downtrend, right? That's around, it bounced off of that 66.5 and then bounced off that downtrend at 65.6, right? And we're headed towards this support at 56, right? But that 52 is below that support, and that's like the bottom midline. We may even go all the way down to 45, right? That's the lowest part of that downtrend. But what we've been seeing, right, is since it's been trading sideways since about February, and from February to about, let's say, May, we were actually in an uptrend, and we were, then we rejected. I actually rejected on this Fibonacci that I had drawn from the beginning of Bitcoin pumping. So we dumped hard from that because we hit the top of we couldn't break out of the downtrend. So we bled all the way down to 58,000 where it hadn't been before. So now it's testing new lower lows. So what we need to see is if it hasn't touched the 56 yet. So we need to see if it's going to reject or if it's going to start creating a lower low, or reject on that 56 support. So again, I don't think that if we hit that 52, it's going to be a while. And I think what the market makers are going to do is let that liquidation build up. But there's a lot of liquidation to the top side. If we break out of this downtrend, which we haven't yet, we found support on the lower mids of the channel, right above that support. To break the downtrend, we need to break. Now it's only about 70,000. So that's not too bad, because 68,000 is liquidation, and we can use that liquidation lever to break out. So that's what the liquidation escalated. So the bears are, they're highly leveraged, and they're going to build that up. That's why we're chopping sideways. And I think we're going to go up to that 69 before we go down to that 50, break that, that 50, what is that, 56 barrier. So I think it's going to basically create a wedge, from the downtrend and that support. And that wedge ends around 58K. So we'll see. Does that answer your question?
No, just interesting. Just get some thoughts on it. Just looking at the chart now.
And that's the technical analysis. I'm really looking at the macro trends right now. And I'm looking, like what I was looking at is, well, if the institutions in the United States are not buying because they're not buying on Coinbase, then who's buying? And I found that Metaplanet, some, Asian whales, those type of people are propping up. And that's kind of like, a balance of powers in a sense, and so, however, it's competition, right? So I'm glad that's there. I think that Bitcoin is the new currency, world currency. So other countries besides the United States need to buy Bitcoin. Now, the United States has their stable coin, and that's what they're pushing. Yes, the United States is going to be the crypto capital of the world only if they have their digital dollar, right? So that's what it's looking at. The pairs between Bitcoin and their dollar, and of course, those market makers or Wall Street is going to be trading Bitcoin like it's a stock. So, and they're going to take all the volatility out of it, to tell you the truth. And we'll probably have like a slow climb like the S&P index, right? It'll just be, a little bit better than inflation, right? But it's not going to, Bitcoin's not going to go to million if they take over. And that's kind of what Michael Saylor's saying, is that the ones that are going to ruin it are us selling to the institutions. So I'm hodling, I didn't sell my Bitcoin at the top. I'm in it for the long term. I'm buying it, and at these prices right now. And if there's a lot of people that are going back and getting jobs. I just talked to one of my friends in Solana, and I said, hey, do what you got to do, man. Work that IRL job so you can, stack sats or Solana or whatever, your favorite crypto, because this is the time to do it. I don't think, relatively, I think it's a short amount of time, because the halvening is in 28, right? So it's like early 28, like April 28 is what they're looking at. So if you can't buy it this year and it recovers, you're going to be buying it and FOMOing it at a higher cost. So I think now to the end of the year is the time to buy Bitcoin at whatever price it is. After that, I don't think you're going to get it at a discount anymore, personally. All right. So any other Bitcoin stuff? That's where I'm seeing Bitcoin dipping. I'm looking at it around that 61K mark. There's some liquidations at that 59K, but I probably will bounce there. So again, I'm just gonna DCA into it, and I'm gonna hold my long, because one thing I feel is for certain is that 68K liquidation is way more than the liquidation to the downside. The more liquidation higher than the 68K is at a 51K, and I just don't think it's going to get there anytime soon. So that's my justification for longing Bitcoin. Also, last week I talked about this KOL or influencer, Dr. Profit. If you haven't seen that, go back last week, read what he says about it. He's been a big bear, shorting Bitcoin from 126K down to here, and now he's flipped and started buying. So I follow him quite a bit, and he's usually right. But he's one of those influencers that he won't spill the tea until he's absolute certain. So sometimes, like people like me, I'm ahead of him for like 3 months because I don't care. I'm not selling nothing. I'm just telling you guys straight up. What's up, Ming?
I have a quick question to ask you about your feeling about your price in America. I know you guys in the American money or hermit. I think they have a meeting this weekend about the interest rate of
yeah,
Fed.
that's today and tomorrow. They're meeting today.
Today or tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow they'll let us know if they're keeping the Fed rate the same. I look at Polymarket because those prediction sites are pretty accurate. 75% chance they keep the interest rate as it is, and there's a 25% chance that they raise it. And I know Trump's not going to be happy if they raise it. He wants to lower it, but I think it's like a compromise, and he doesn't want to show that he's like, swayed by the president. The Fed chair needs to be impartial, even though, Trump picked him.
Yeah, I know you're not in a big family. I mean, Moni's single, I know. But what are you feeling about your price, your living cost in America now? Do you think its price is going too high or just normal? You didn't feel anything. That's my question. Besides the petrol, the gas.
Well, I think so. I can get really crazy on the whole oil thing, but like the price of oil. Um, the United States has plenty of oil, but what they don't have is crude oil, right? Heavy oil. We frack all our oil and it's light oil, and our refineries are not designed for that. Okay, so that's why they need Venezuelan oil. That's why they need the Canadian tar sands oil that now they're selling to China. There's a big war.
I think his question though was like more about inflation, like, and that's more like, I
Well,
know I'm
oil
jumping
has to
in
do
here,
with
but like a
inflation.
global thing.
Yeah, I thank you. I'll get to that. So the point is, oil just jumped, right? And the reason why oil is jumping is because, like I said, the United States doesn't have the right type of oil to refine. That's plain and simple. So they need that Saudi Arabian oil. And then it's kind of like what China does with Australian coal. That was an example we used. Meaning, what we do is we buy the crude oil, we refine it and sell it, right? And then so we're buying and selling oil at the same time. So yeah, inflation. As long as the price of oil goes up, that directly affects inflation. However, inflation's being very it's being controlled or stable because one, the Fed's not lowering the interest rate; they're keeping it the same, and two, like I explained, this is a long explanation, but basically, Trump is creating a very strong dollar through his tariffs, through private investments, yeah, and our consumer spending. So, and what they're going to be putting into the military. That's all keeping the dollar very strong. So I don't see, like for us, we don't see much inflation here. It's I mean, don't get me wrong, everything's already been inflated, but it's not any worse than the last administration.
Yeah, thanks, Tex. That's what I want to get from you guys, your side. What are you feeling now? I guess most American now, even the World Cup, most of my feedback is they thinking when they visit American, they think that your price is good and the supply is good, everything is good because of strong U.S. dollars, which is Trump doing at the moment, and that's why I'm thinking. I see the news. Japan will depends on your Fed meeting. If they raise the interest up, Japan maybe follow. Just think about the other country like Japan, and if they increase the interest rate, it will be big hit of American stock market. So that's why I guessing the meeting they will holding the interest rate, and because your dollar is very strong. That's why they don't need. Like I said before, they don't need increase your rate, your American interest, the rate because you have strong dollars. Everybody there, I guessing, no much suffer for the price rise. Not like me, like outside American. All of us, I guessing for my side, I feel the people around me, my customers in Australia, they feeling not very nice because the price is really going up. Because this week, the petrol is going up as well. This did hurt the family, the cost. So I can tell, I can see, but I guessing you guys is okay. That's why American
Yeah.
tech is
Well,
doing
it's
well.
not okay, Ming. But and Trump's going to lose votes over this Iran situation. But what and let me get this straight. All these politicians are the same, okay? They don't really care about the small guy when it comes down to uh all this, right? They have bigger things in mind, right? And so he's basically saying, "Look, I lowered it, gas, and now it's going to be up again." Right. And then we go back and forth. There's all this back and forth with the War Powers Act. I'm telling you, we're not going to see anything until the midterms. And then, if most likely the Democrats will win the midterms because that's what statistically happens. Although there's that whole change of, votes and districts and all that stuff. We'll see. But I think that government's really good at just kicking the can down the road and not changing anything, especially when it's split. So that's why we're waiting for this Clarity Act to pass. If they don't pass it, it's going to be a stalemate. So yeah. Anyway, was there something else, man?
No much.
Okay.
Just want to share these ideas. I think another funny thing I want to ask everybody here. It's summertime for you guys, North Atmosphere.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
winter.
typhoon season. If you know that, I want to share something interesting. I found out. I just thinking now, from August to October is always not a good time for the stock market. Back to 1929, I think the 24th of the October is a Great Depression happening. 1987, I can remember, still October, I see before the news, American biggest stock uh, uh, down one day, I think over 20% something. And 2008, September,
Yep.
as a
I remember
Lehman
that one.
Brothers.
My 401k went to shit.
You can Google 2008 September. Something happened.
I don't need
The
to Google it. I fucking lied.
yeah.
A lot
And the
of
last
money.
and the nearest text, it is no 2024, I think. Japan, for a long time, zero after COVID, they raised the interest is up. They do hurting the stock market, especially for American stock market. 2024 on August, and the last year 2025, 10th of October. The Bitcoin, the crypto market dumping. So that is the crucial time. This couple months, very very dangerous. So that's why we keep an eye on it. I don't know what's happening, and Trump will play around. I know, and AI play around. So that's my interesting sharing information here. Not very bullish on next 2 months or 3 months. And if you trading with Bitcoin, I thinking is up and down. They're waiting for the clarity, clearing things, everything happening, the interest rate, the war, the AI, the stock, and Japan. I believe I believe a Korean is already. Andy said Korean people is okay. I don't think they're okay. Believe me, Korean. I see the shows. They all losing tons of money there. The stock market is dumping, and they use too much leverage there. Korean government.
Yeah, so they're
Japan,
forced to sell their Bitcoin, right?
yeah,
So
and
that's
Japan Japan is the next one. Just keep
yeah.
an eye on Japan.
Well,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying though, Japan's Meta Planet, right, has been buying up Bitcoin to lower their BCA. And thank you for bringing that up because that means when Bitcoin hits their average, which is about 75K, and same strategy is at 75K, that there's a lot of liquidation at 78K, but there's a huge sell wall at 75K, guys. So that's we're far from that right now, but I'm just telling you, if you're thinking Bitcoin's going to go to 100K anytime soon, there's more walls to the upside than to the downside. So that's a lot of the reason why Bitcoin's going to be chopping sideways. They need to create that liquidation escalates to the upside. And right now, there's only one at 68K, and there's none from 70 to 74. So that means that we're most likely going to chop downwards, and we're the trend is your friend, guys. So we've been in a downtrend. We just failed to break a midline on the downtrend, so it's probably going lower, right? But again, there's a lot of support at that 58K. What did I say? Yeah, no, 56K. All right. So we'll see what happens. Moving on, let's talk about Robinhood, right? I know a lot of you that's been, around for a while. Remember those, early meme coin days where, we were fighting with GameStop and AMC. Robinhood, they stopped. If you guys remember, they stopped. Like when GameStop was pumping, and it was squeezing a lot of these market makers shorts, right? These hedge funds shorts on GameStop. Out of nowhere, Robinhood decided you can't buy any more GameStop, but you could sell GameStop right when it was trending upwards and pumping. So a lot of people looked at that as market manipulation, right? And that Robinhood sold out to these hedge funds. So Now Robinhood wants to enter crypto, and a lot of crypto remembers them. But you know, one thing I find that is funny about crypto is they're very fickle when it comes to the injection of money, right? So they love it when, you know, BlackRock will buy Bitcoin so they can pump the price, right? This goes back to Michael Saylor saying we're our biggest insiders problem, right? So we want we want them to pump. And one thing I've been using this. EAC said, you know, Robinhood's bringing in liquidity, and they're bringing in users, right? And I have a Robinhood. I haven't used Robinhood since all that stuff happened because I'm one of those people that, you know, I don't trust Robinhood, right? So I just, you know, reactivated it or started using it the other day and looked at all these changes. And obviously there's Robinhood Crypto. And so just so you guys know, I already kind of covered this, but Robinhood Crypto, that chain is an L2 using Arbitrum's technology. And they pay Arbitrum 10% per transaction. And for the time being, because Robinhood has all this VC money or funding, they're paying for those transactions as well. So what's happened is all these meme coins, right, are loving this new meta, all this new people, and they're trying to get, you know, listed on Robinhood, and it's all about speculation. So, you know, whether you choose to be in the what they call the trenches or not, you know, it is you know, pumping the meme coins, right? So I'm not gonna go into that. Maybe next week we'll go into. But what I wanted to share with you guys also is one of the metas is these trading bots, right? And AI trading. One thing I thought was actually pretty cool. I was on customer service with Robinhood today, but you can connect your Claude, your Grok to Robinhood, and actually, like, they're going to make it real easy for you to create a trading bot through Robinhood. I'm kind of bullish on that, to be honest. You know, so I wanted you guys to kind of discuss it. What do you guys think about Robinhood, the pros and cons? I'm just seeing like more pros than cons. You know, I don't know. I think that
So
maybe this is a redemption. What's up, EAC?
so I just listened to an interview with the with the tech from the dev pretty much from Robinhood, and one thing that he said like is like the question got asked like why did you pick Arbitrum? And he said, you know, because of what Ethereum has to offer, like the security, the liquidity, the decentralization, and that's like one of the things that was like, yeah, I mean, that's a good point. If you're gonna bring like, um, if we do reach the world where like we have tokenized stocks that are trading 24/7, like it's not going to be on Bitcoin. It's most likely going to be on EVM, and Ethereum does like offer all that. So, and then like the guy asked him like, why didn't you just build your own blockchain? Because because Ethereum has like all that it already like just it's basic like, and with Arbitrum it was just like push button, get started and go. And they're bringing like the users, and anyone like who brings the users, I'm bullish on it. The one thing that we need to like really like kick it off is a social app that brings the users, and I hope this is the one that does,
Are you
because
breaking up?
Coinbase tried and they failed.
Yeah, and let me mention Coinbase real quick because they have partnered with Solana. So, you know, I actually like Arbitrum. I think it's a good crypto rail. Um, you know, like I see Ape Chain working very effectively on it. So there was that DAO hack, and the Security Council was able to recover some of that tether on the Arbitrum. So in those sense, like it's good. It's good that Arbitrum, you know, has been experienced. They've been around a while. So I'm bullish on them using Arbitrum. What I'm not bullish about is them paying this basically a 10% royalty. that's bearish for Robinhood Crypto, but bullish for Arbitrum and bullish for like people that use Arbitrum, like ApeChain, a layer 3 on Arbitrum. So, you know what? I feel like Robinhood's getting some redemption here. I'm
Well,
still
one thing about
skeptical.
that though too is like that's just one part of their business, right? Like they got like they're making money on multiple difference, and like if they want, like it's kind of more bullish to pay Arbitrum a big fee because they're the ones that they're scaling them.
And they're keeping it secure. That's my point. Yeah, exactly, EAC. So, like, Arbitrum has not been hacked. We've seen a lot of people hacked, right? A lot of bridges failed, exploits. Arbitrum itself, maybe like a DAO on Arbitrum, but nothing Arbitrum's done has caused any exploits or anything like that. So, again, I think it's smart for them to use Arbitrum, but the 10% royalty in the future is going to hurt them in the future. What's up, Icehand? Welcome to the stage. I have not seen you before, but let's give it a shot.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, thanks for giving me the mic. I can just introduce myself quick. So you can tell by the .xlm, I'm a fan of the Stellar blockchain. I'm also big on investing. I'm closing in on $1 million invested. I'm 40 years old, so no huge accomplishment there, but I'm grinding away. And I wanted to chime in on your question about the Robinhood agentic trading. I don't have personal experience, but I got a friend here on X who's big into this and he's been exploring it a lot. And like I've been following his journey with it and finding it pretty interesting. So my own investment strategy is much more boring. I don't know, just like set it and forget ETF type stuff. He is in the middle of like training his bot. So he's basically buying like $1 here and $3 here of every fund under the sun, it seems. He's like trying to teach his bot or whatever, feed it data about different types of investments like hedging with this and investing in a 3x leverage fund over here. It seems like it's kind of all over the map to me a little bit, but maybe that's the point, is like giving the agent a lot of data.
Yeah, no. So that's been happening in Icehand a lot. And I would say, EAC, what do you think? It was like 6 months since your friend is doing the same thing with his trading bot. He's getting it dialed in. And, you know, a lot of these trading bots, they're not 100% accurate, but they win more than they lose. I use a trading bot, but it's an algorithm. So it's called a grid bot. It's on my centralized exchange. It just buys and sells, like, you know, when Bitcoin goes up a certain amount and then down a certain amount, it's capturing all those little miniature trades. So now you basically can vibe code your trading strategy, and you know you basically, with Robinhood, like all those trading bots, you put a certain amount of money into a separate account for the AI to run. It's not going to affect your other stuff. So as soon as Robinhood customer service figures out why mine's not working, I'm going to start vibe coding. I have a lot of developer experience. I have a lot of trading experience. I think that Robinhood has the customer base. You know, a lot of these trading bots, it requires you to own this many NFTs. You kind of have to trust somebody. You know, there's always a catch, right? I know what Robinhood's catch is, right? So I'm basically kind of leaning towards this is more of a safer play, because I'm able to control the front end, you know, and so and the back end is a large company. So
So yeah, the way my friend is running it, to my knowledge, he's like incorporating it with his favorite like LLM
yeah,
model, you know, that he's worked with a lot. So
yeah, that runs completely on their own machine. Yeah, so
yeah,
I'm
pretty
experimenting
interesting
on
stuff.
desktop, and even Grok has this ability too. So if you're a blue check mark and you have, that means you got Grok 4.5, so you can connect it to your Robinhood. So like I said, when I get it working, I'm going to talk about it. But I wanted it, I wanted to kind of, clear the air here about Robinhood Crypto. I know it's been a big meme trend, but I think it's more than that. It's liquidity, it's new users in the space, but maybe it's redemption, maybe it's not. Maybe they're going to pull the rug out from underneath us because, like most things that are new, there's a lot of vaporware. But I'm just telling you guys how it is and seeing what you guys think. All right. Well, if nobody else has anything on Robinhood, X. Okay, everybody with a blue check mark, have you checked your email? Because X is giving away free money, right? I'm not a big influencer. I only have like 5,000 followers. I don't hit a million, so I can get pay. But X gave me a free $15. Some people got more, right? It gives me a credit card, right? And yes, you have to KYC, but if you're a blue check mark, you're already KYC, right? But I can get a credit card with my first and last initial and then my handle. So if I go to, like, if I want to stay anon at a convention and use my credit card, I could just like pay with everything as exchange cash, right? I'm super bullish on having another credit card to add to my bunch of credit cards. Now, besides all that, here's the crazy part, right? If you deposit $1,000, I think every month, I'm going to click on X Money. Hopefully I don't fuck up my space. Oh shit. Yeah, it's going to fuck it up. Never mind. Okay. So, but the point is, if you deposit like $1,000, they're going to give you 6% APY. And even if you don't do that, it's going to give you 4% APY. How? And that's what everybody's asking. How? Well, it's coming from Elon, the richest man in the world. So we don't even know how. And not only this, guys, you know how you have FDIC insurance? Somehow Elon has FDIC insurance up to 10 million. That's insane. Can you imagine putting a $10 million into your X account?
That is insane because most banks it's just 250K, if I'm not mistaken. Unless you're maybe if you're special, you get more. But if you go to a bank, it's like FDIC insured up to 250K.
You could pay more for a higher amount.
Okay. That's insane.
And he has a bank that, that's the thing is, that was one thing Binance had problems with. They couldn't get a United States bank. Well, Elon doesn't have a problem getting a United States bank. So, and there's like 4,000 commercial banks in the United States. So it's not that hard. And, so with the Clarity Act coming out, with the Genius Act already there, it's going to be big. What's up, man?
Yeah, I heard you talk about Robinhood and X. Now, I just have a quick thought about the, Robinhood, why they doing this, launching Mint or Launchpad, pushing away about the crypto at the moment, as long as they can. But I can remember last cycle, they not very pioneer to do this or promotion this. Just a few meme coin, Dogecoin or something, Shiba or Pepe. But now this cycle, these times, they're doing a lot because I guessing they know the crypto, the future, the American, do the capital of the crypto. But if you talk about the X, what do you think? I don't know the technology or trading stuff, but I reckon you said Elon is the smartest man. He is the richest man. On X at the moment is crypto peoples here all around X. What do you think one day they will launch about something trading crypto on his X instead of give you money? What are you thinking?
But my point is this, Ming. He's attacking the banks now. He's telling the banks, I have more FDIC insurance than you, up to 10 million, right? He's giving it away, just baseline 4% APY. And I was able to log in. And if you deposit $1,000 every 34 days, you earn 6% APY. You can't find another bank to do that, right? And you can have a metal credit card sent to you with your X handle on it. I think that's where he's going, is he's going to get a bunch of people's money, right? He's attracting it with these high APYs, right? And it's not crypto.
Which are subject to change, or no? Are they? Like, it's not going to stick at 6%, I imagine.
As long as you're putting $1,000 in, this is how I'm reading it. As long as you're depositing $1,000 every 34 days, you're going to earn 6% APY if you set up a direct deposit.
Yeah, but it's like indefinitely. I think that rate is going to fluctuate with the market.
Days, you have to add $1,000, so you have to keep growing it.
Yeah, but you're not getting what I'm saying. That rate is not going to remain at 6%. So mark my words, it's going to go down.
No, it's going to go up or down.
It's going to go down. He's not going to sustain at 6%.
But that's why.
But don't get me wrong either. It's good. Like, it's still a hell of a deal. It's still it's a really nice ass promotion. But I think that's what it is. It's going to be for a few months.
But this is what I'm saying. You're agreeing with.
But hopefully he keeps it at 3%. You know, that's sustainable, I think.
Well, yeah, but then it's not more lucrative than putting your money on Coinbase. You know, so I think 4% APY just sitting there without qualification, right? And then, but that's the thing. A lot of people are asking how he's doing this. Well, I think he can, like Michael Saylor, as long as there's money coming in, guys, he can give as much as he wants. Now, when that money stops coming in, absolutely, he's going to say, okay, you guys are not doing it. You're not putting $1,000 in every 34 days. You're done. And he can stop this promotion at any time once he gets enough money.
How much you guys paying for that blue check mark these days?
Well, I buy on the browser. It's like $9. If you pay for the year, it's like $9 a month. And now he just refunded about $15 of it, dude. So I think it's pretty fucking cool. Don't get me wrong here. I fucking hate that Spaces doesn't work, right, on my Android. You know, I don't think I'm getting what I pay for, but like I said, now I'm starting to see, hey, maybe I am getting a little benefits for having this blue check mark, you know? So like, and I only got $15, but I know other people that got a lot more, influencers and stuff like that. And that's just going to pump this, like what Moni, you were saying it. Everybody's talking about this X money. Maybe she's asleep. You wanted to be co-host, Moni, and I throw you the mic, and here you go. Oh, there's your laugh emoji. Yeah, Moni, can you explain what you were saying earlier about the X money?
Oh yeah, for the X money, there's like a lot of posts that people have that they give them, like, like all these incentives. So some people, it depends, I guess. Like they get like $50. Even some guy got like $100, and just to like, I think you're already verified, then they'll give you that incentives, or it's like a brand new coming or something like that. I didn't really look into it, but yeah, like once you get that, like, yeah, like everybody was like ranting and raving about this whole, like, X dollars. And I'm like, what the hell? That's fake. No way. Elon's that generous. But no, seriously, like everybody was like so happy about this X money. So yeah, I was shocked that Tex got it too, because I'm like, what the hell? That's crazy. But yeah, it was pretty cool though to see that everybody was so happy about these like X money giveaway, and you get paid to post, and you get paid to, like, voice your opinions and thoughts, and fuck everybody what they think, like, because a lot of people, they cannot really write what they say, or like, can't really voice it out, because you get a lot of like backlash. But you know what, like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's like they just allocated their whole marketing budget to these incentives and then allowed the marketing to be more organic. Because I didn't even see it coming. It was just in my notifications. And at first I was like, no, fuck that noise. And then I was like, wait, they're giving away free money? So yeah, I can see how that is a good strategy. And hi, Monty. Hey, Tex. Hey, everybody. Happy Hermit.
Hey, D, what's going on? Hey, you have a second account or what?
Yeah. Well, I also have the Honeybee Royale account, the NFT account.
Oh, no wonder. I was like, wait, is this another one? Like, what? Who is this? Oh, that's good. You got the X Money thing too, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've seen a lot of posts, so I'm excited for all of you guys.
Yeah, and I think the people who have Premium Plus got more, and that's why you're seeing more. And shout out to B. It's good to see you on my space. I've been going to your spaces. Just so everybody knows, tomorrow there's a martini hour, and they're gonna be talking about Dash Pay, right? B, and then the next week, Ming and I are excited. We're gonna be talking about B&B on August 5th. So really excited for that, B. Is there
Me
anything else you
too.
wanted to add?
Yeah, I should probably create that event because it's like next week, is it? Today's the 29th. So yeah, next week is the 5th. Wow.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden summer's like just sped up a bunch. Looking on the calendar here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, B, because like I'm all into education. That's what Herm and I are. We're the designated degens here. We're trying to degen responsibly. And what B is doing, everyone, is she's educating people on the different blockchains. And it's really interesting, you know. 'Cause I hate it when there's all these maxis, and I'm so blockchain agnostic. Even though I wear the BNB border, because that's like where my home is, I mess around with Solana communities, of course, you know, and obviously those Bitcoin maxis are hilarious. And it's a good time. And I'm all into the technology, you know, and like I said, Arbitrum's been doing some good things for these spaces. You know, EAC down there is pushing Polygon, you know, and yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe
think Polygon
EAC
should
would
come
do
up.
Polygon.
Let's do well, I have Hyperliquid as maybe the week after
Oh
BNB.
yeah, the decentralized exchange. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe we do Polygon the week after that.
Yeah, if EAC is down, I don't know how many other Polygon.
Well, see, yeah, I don't
EAL.
ask for permission to from or need anybody from the community. It's more
Right.
about like us kind of walking through the history, the story, what problem it solves, how is it different from the other blockchains? You know, it's sort of like a forensic kind of discussion in a sense, but it's great when community members do show up. So, you know, I'm doing my research on Claude, so sometimes that is outdated, which happened during Ape Chain, which I was very embarrassed. But you know, it is great when the community does show up to set the record straight if there's some skewed information being put out there by AI agents, if you know what I mean. Um, so, yeah, I think our biggest spaces were the BSV spaces. They were the most controversial because BSV is challenging BTC in a way by doing more than BTC does, which is Satoshi's original vision. Allegedly, like admit I have not spent enough time with the white paper or, you know, going deep. I'm more of like a cultural learner. So yeah. When it comes to this, I don't know. I've read lots of scientific papers and stuff. But anyway, I'll give you back the mic, Tex.
No, thank you for speaking and coming on stage. You know, it's always nice to have you. Um, let's see. I got David back up here. We haven't heard from Honk. Honk, what's going on, dude? How's your week?
It's good, bro. Just chipping away, man. Trying to generate content and just be involved. Had a long weekend. Took the kids to the beach in San Diego.
Were you able to get that X money?
The X money. I've been bombarded with the advertisements for it, but I didn't really care to look at it really into it. It seems
It's
like it has a
real.
lot of perks.
No, you're very skeptical about it, but it's real.
Yeah, and then they also launched their X chat too.
which is supposed to be encrypted messaging, end-to-end encrypted chats. No, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, he launched in April. So yeah, it's all coming together for like his WeChat style app, or his Do Everything app is what he's trying to do, which is pretty cool. I mean, um, if it gets people get that involved in it, it's almost like you have no choice but to start using it, right? I mean, it's not a bank, it's just a money transmitter. That's it, or a license. That's it.
Yeah, it kind of rivals PayPal, right? Venmo,
Right.
Cash App. You could send, request money from other people and send them money. So I don't know.
I accept money. I
Yeah,
accept
I
it.
know Moni does. Moni loves money, uh, but loves money. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, like, I don't know. Do you guys still are able to accept crypto? Because I used to be able to accept Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I think that went away with this X money. Am I wrong about that? It's the only bad thing, I guess.
What went away?
So before you could have like people send you money through Bitcoin or Ethereum. I don't
Send
know if
me
it's
send me a Bitcoin. We'll test it.
You know what? I had set that up, the addresses on this X. I remember that. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, so I can get you a premium subscription EAC, but I don't see where I can send you uh, crypto on your
Yeah,
profile.
they took that away then because yeah,
See,
I
that's
did.
what I'm saying. So that's the downside about this X money, but I don't think it was a big deal for us. Um, I think that more people are going to use X money than that. So that's kind of like part of the plan, right?
Like
Yeah.
so you can search the tickers right now, like on X, like they show up right when your feed. So I think the plan is kind of where you will be able to like buy everything crypto, um, tokenized stocks, everything right off this app with the X money.
Yeah, he added those
That's my
tickers.
prediction.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's not. I don't even think it's a prediction. I think he said it. He said that like you can find the price of your crypto or stocks right on here. If you type in dollar sign, like an at sign, and when you type in someone's name, you say dollar sign Tesla, and it'll tell you Tesla's price. So he's already, starting to work on that. What's up, Ice?
And to take it even further, like integrate it with Polymarket so you can bet on predictions right on the app.
Yeah. What's up?
Yo, since you guys asked, you can actually send money. I am not asking for it, but it's true. You can send money directly to icehand.xlm. My friend built the app and a website called um shit XLM domains, xlm.domains. And if you go there, you can send me crypto straight up through that very simple address, icehand.xlm, or you can pay 25 bucks and secure your own domain for 5 years. Just a little shill for my
Hey,
buddy.
I love this shameless shill. We're at this space, not other spaces allow it, but this space, we're degens here. So shameless
That's right.
shill all you want, baby. But yeah, there's lots of ways to, like, I have a link tree, which like you click on those, I get referrals or whatever, but I do that because like I'm trying to help other people make money, you know, so why not get like a referral for it, right? I'm
Oh
straight.
yeah, this guy's my like high school friend. I've known him for like 20 years, so that's all I get out of it is just getting my friend's name out there. But his app is fucking sweet. And if you guys like are into degen stuff, this one's not that crazy. It's a token that represents a US Treasury. And then he has built a vault for it and he's got NFTs and stuff.
I'm just kidding. That's what the stable coins are now, is US Treasury notes, short-term US Treasury notes.
There's a lot of them.
Well, that's what the whole Genius Act allows people to do, is that
Oh yeah.
backing their stable coins 1-to-1 or buying US Treasury short-term Treasury bonds. Like Tether's already doing it, right? and USDC is already doing it, but now it's
Have you heard of Etherfuse?
Etherfuse? No.
It's he's tokenizing US treasuries, Mexican treasuries, UK, Australia maybe. It's on the Stellar blockchain, and he seems pretty legit. Like he's working with government institutions and stuff. But that I dabble with his assets, but they're not really built for us. They're not really built for the degens. They're built for like institutions.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if he's what that's about, but look, I think governments love it when you buy their treasuries. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm for it, but I personally won't invest in a government. You know what I mean? I don't want to invest in any fiat. That's why I'm in crypto. So it doesn't make sense.
I was gonna say it kind of goes against the crypto way, right? Like that kind of happened in the whole crypto market. It used to be like the whole entire thing was like fuck the banks, and now in Stellar at least it's all of like let's get the banks here, let's get the banks
Yeah,
on our side.
institutional adoption, right? Like that's
they're forgetting about the degens who started everything and like accepted crypto from the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, look, we still have our own foothold, right? Like we still stack sats, we still do what we still do use our DeFi apps, but institutional adoptions here, and you guys just need to accept it. I I don't think there's anything we can do to stop them, but there's nothing
Yeah.
at the same time. There's nothing they can do to stop us, right?
What kind of DeFi apps do you use, or like what's your blockchain of choice that you use DeFi for?
Absolutely is BNB, right? And so Aster is one of them. Pancake Swap, 4.meme. I could just go on and on. But honestly, anything. Look, my favorite decentralized protocol is why am I drawing a blank?
You forgot XRP. That's why you draw the blank. You forgot XRP. Yeah. Yes.
Moni, they're not DeFi. They're centralized. But anyway, no, dude, 8 Church, if you guys like, you could use this. If you go to 8.church, there's a link in my fucking link tree. So please use it. But it's a decentralized protocol. And it's more than just games of chance. You can be the house, right, which has a 2% edge. You can play poker there, which I know like B is in her community has an NFT community about poker cards. So check her out, and Honeybee Royale. I'll tell you, I got like a dozen of those. They're on secondary and they're still minting. But yeah, like I love 8.church, dude. You can win mutant apes. Like, dude, they've been giving out a lot of money because all they do is like most games of chance, or AKA casinos, they're all centralized and it's a one-way thing. But this is decentralized. It allows you to be the casino, right? And so you could also they have an NFT that goes along. I have 3 of those. They're worth like $300 each. When I minted one, or I didn't mint one, but I essentially got one for $30, and I bought 2 more at like $100. Now they're $300, and there's these other NFTs you can attach to it. So it's all DeFi. Sorry for the long response, but yeah, dude, I love DeFi. So you're probably just checking it out. But anyways, yeah, if you go to my link tree, 8 Church, fully decentralized, non-custodial gaming hub. You keep all your funds. You can export your wallet to MetaMask. Yeah, dude, it's amazing, bro. And they are building like they minted 4,444 memes in less than 2 seconds in a bear market. Now, of course, they have the whole like Bored Ape Yacht Club community behind it, and Yuga Labs just sunk 4 million ape coin into it, which is like $500,000. So it's pretty amazing. But anyway,
So you guys really think that Elon will like dominate the globe with his super app? You guys think, or
Well,
will it be like a fight between the East and West, or will they just use their own
no,
super apps?
it's not even a fight between East and West. It's a fight against the banks, dude. He's giving higher interest rates than the banks. He's giving FDIC insurance to 10 million. I don't
Right.
know what the banks are going to do. The
That's
banks,
true.
look, the banks were worried about crypto. They need to worry about Elon, the richest fucking man on the planet.
Yeah, the X is not legal in China, so
Yeah, they
Right.
can just ban it and be done with. They use Weibo over there, some kind of app that they use. But I mean, China know for just banning stuff they don't like. So they don't have Google over there. Facebook kind of like water down. So Elon can do all he wants with the first world, which is the U.S. and maybe Europe. But China, I don't care. They just block it
Right.
out.
It seems to be the strategy, just to restrict access to the tech, so
No,
that
to information, China do really good job of limiting what they want their people to know. So it's all about safeguard or guardrail that information, whatever that could be, like Tiananmen Square, something like that. You know what I mean, right, Ming?
It's about currency though too. They want to they don't want everyone buying USD.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But but I mean, China's it's a big market, but the U.S. just as big. But you talk about like the South America, you talk about like Europe, right? And so it's still much bigger than China, right? So it's fine. You can't really like monopolize the money, right? Because money is sovereignty, right? Money is country, and then they always find a way to protect the currency, So
But Elon being the richest guy in the world, and what he did with this app is if he just saw something, he wanted it, he bought it. And like, what's stopping him from blowing this app up to the point and some other app coming like that is popular in China? And he's like, yeah, I'll just buy that.
you can't buy anything from China. They won't let you. It's a very
I
different.
think
It's a
I don't think he wants to, guys. I think he's
yeah.
true.
but the point is, like, he is buying up all those dollars, and the government's like, hey, you're just making everybody that can buy dollars part of X. And imagine how many. I want to ask somebody from outside the United States, did they get X money? Because if you have a blue check mark and you're from a country where the dollar goes a long way, $15 is like, for example, I use Nigeria as example. You like $12 is what a college student makes in Nigeria, right? A month. So
yeah, tax.
yeah,
Sorry, I have a friend with Chinese running X on the running his X, and he got a $200 US dollar, 200 I don't know Australian dollar US dollar, similar like that, a time twice a week. I think something like that. He got a follower. It's a Chinese man, 15,000 followers. Oh, 50,000. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't
But
have
he'd be
get
on a
any.
VPN though. They probably thought he was in the US.
No VPN in Australia. I think
Oh, in
he's
Australia. Okay.
Australia, not Chinese. Australia. I talk about this man doing the something crypto. I follow him. I know he's lots of the tweet about how can he make money, and he push it. Yeah.
No, right now, I think the incentive is only for the U.S. citizen, and only for certain states, if I'm not wrong.
yeah,
Because
that's what I was
because
thinking, Andy. I think you're right because
they don't
remember,
have license.
yeah,
Even in some of the states, they do not have the license, so they can't give
right,
out their money for free. So I didn't get it. Almost everyone outside of US, I don't think anybody got it, right? So
okay,
that
that
should
clears
be
it up.
how it is. And to be very honest, when I saw the FDIC $10 million, I, I, I exactly know what they did. Just like a lot of the other banks in the world, they offer individual FDIC insurance up to 250,000 per user per bank. So I think X Money probably aggregated all the banks that they have to give you that 10 million um, backing, from FDIC, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, it's not like if it's not like one individual bank, and I'm not sure if anything were to happen, what is the crawback process? Is it going to be really long, or is it going to come from Elon Musk piggy bank? Uh, I'm not sure, man.
Yeah, dude, I have lots of questions too, Andy. But yeah, you've been right. Here's the thing: we've been seeing this. We knew this was coming because slowly X has been, getting money transmitter license from all these various states. Now they seem, and look, I'm in Texas, one of the hardest states to get it, and I'm able to collect it, right? So I think he has a lot of states that are allowed to use this. Well, I'll have to
Yeah,
figure out which ones can't.
I think New York he can't have it. If
Yeah, New York's fucking tough,
I it's very tough, right? A few other states, I don't
especially
think
on crypto.
he will have it.
But
Yeah,
this isn't
so
crypto, Andy. You know what I mean? I don't see why he couldn't.
no, it's still tough, right? Because the
Oh
money
yeah, because there's
license is
big
not.
banks. There's the big
Yeah,
central bank in New York. Yeah, they probably don't
yeah,
want
it's,
this.
it's
Like I
not
said,
easy.
this is an attack on the banks.
Yeah,
You deal with a lot of banks, Andy.
I
I,
mean,
I
yeah.
agree. But
If
but
anyone,
but if you look at the 6% APY that he's giving, is also super obvious that it's not sustainable, right? So
Right.
so of
That's what
course,
I suspect.
if you are in Singapore, for example, you can also get like a 6 or 8%, but you have to do all kinds of things like credit your salary in. You have to spend 1,500 every month. You have to do all these things. Then they will give you like that extra percentage. I personally think that he will try to keep that 6% there, but he will slowly add in the terms and condition so that so that you are actively depositing money with him so that he can give you a little bit more money. I think that will come very soon.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll admit something. I have like a dozen credit cards, not a dozen literally, but I have a lot. And I have a credit card for gas, gives me 5%. My Amazon gives me 5 or 6%. If I don't need it for a while, I can, they'll pay me an ending. Um, and it's funny because like I'll tell my friends, I'll be like, hey, you want me to buy you this? Because I get discounts, and then they just give me cash, dude, just so I can get the points, right? So we're already doing it. So I see this 4%, 6%. I think it's doable for an unseen future for quite a while. I understand it's unsustainable, but as like I said, as money's coming in, it's like he's going to be able to do it, right? So it's just that's like what a Ponzi is, right? So, dude, right? Speaking of which, he just announced strategy did not buy any Bitcoin this week, but they didn't sell any either. So that's the update on that. Let's see who else is on. Did anybody new? Uh, no. MSDR, you were saying something earlier.
yeah, I think I finished. I'll talk about like how China won't let X infiltrate to the market. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You will never happen because of the tight monetary control in
Yeah.
China,
Uh
and
huh.
and Elon Musk can never buy a Chinese company
Yep.
that is doing banking or money transmitting
Yeah.
businesses. It will never happen. Even now, Chinese are even starting to block all those buys for Chinese AI companies, right? So the latest one that we all know, maybe about 3 months ago, is the Manus. So they kind of block them from this Meta from buying it, and and all these things to them, once you see them starting to block certain maybe enterprise or certain type of narrative, you know that they see it very, very strongly, that this is something that is going to grow. So money, they will stop. Now AI, they're going to stop. So let's see what else they are going to ban.
Yeah, China is very careful about what they do. What I've seen China doing right now, and I talked about it earlier, is they're building their oil reserve. So that's stabilizing their economy. They've actually lowered their interest rates. They are going through some stagflation. They have other problems, but they're an entirely different like financial ecosystem. Where it collides is trade, right? And that's why the markets on both sides get wrecked when Trump is fighting China, and that's a lot of volatility. But for us, that day trade, we love it. But that it hurts people, on both sides.
Yes, Tex, I think you're right. They're buying a lot now, and even gold and oil. But if the war lasts longer, I don't think China or Japan or South Asian country benefit, will be suffer. I mean, they will be suffer because the oil price pump up. I don't think American more suffer, from my ideas, than these kind of countries. So they more likely to see the war ceased and the regular oil export from Iran, whatever. But it doesn't happen yet. That's
Well,
the
that's what I
reality.
think the American government is doing, right?
Yeah.
It's basically threatening China's ability to buy oil. First, it was in Venezuela. Now it's the Middle East. I think that's all part of it. So like I'm not too worried about companies like buying back and forth. They're both in direct competition, and when we got, like, I remember it was a while ago when Trump like threw the first shot across the bow at China with their trade tariffs. China, he went to like all the Asian countries and said like, hey, we're not going to sell to, we're not going to export to the United States anymore. We want to export to you. And a lot of those Asian countries were like, sorry, we're not going to pick a side, because they know that Trump is just unstable and he will tariff the shit out of them. So it's been really interesting watching this all unfold. I think that, both sides, like I think the United States is rocking the boat, but I know China is not trying to do anything crazy. They're very silent towards Iran. They've been supplying the Russians with ammunition and technology. And now the big one, I don't want to get into this, but we have to talk about it, is the Ukraine. That they're sending hundreds of fucking drones to Russia. Now they're taking out Iran ships because Iran has, these shadow fleets where they send, because Russia, you guys, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Russia can sell their oil now. Trump temporarily lifted the embargo on Russian oil. So what Iran is doing is secretly, and Russia is secretly sending oil to Russia so they can sell it. They've been doing that. Like there's thousands of shadow fleet oil tankers. So it's getting to the point where something is going to happen, and I think what like Ukraine didn't get much attention, so like this is their way of getting everybody's attention. What's up?
Hey, Tex, they just passed that Lindsey Graham banned Russian law thingy today, so I'm not sure what's in there. So let's see what they banned. Let's see what we ban them now because the law just passed. Yeah, so we don't know what was in there.
Yeah, before Lindsey passed away, he was pushing another embargo. Not embargo's not the sanction against
just
Russia.
ban, just like just ban shit of them.
So,
yeah,
but I don't think they did the oil though. I'm pretty sure that they're allowed to, keep selling oil. I think that's important. So let me look that up. Permit, Moni, do you got anything? Can you hold it down and check?
Gosh, let me
I
think.
just think Elon's doing a lot, bro. Like, with the satellites and all, it's like, where's he going with all this shit? That's my whole thinking about it. I just look at it in the simple, in a simple
All right.
fashion. He's
Well,
dominating
the-
a lot. Even like
well,
in war, like he's able to send satellites to the Ukraine in the system when Russia took down their satellites. It's like a guy has a say so on what direction a war can take place, bro. Like
he's
that's that's all privately owned. He's
he's
not even part of government, but he can
no.
intrude on war and actually dictate the outcome of war. Like Russia fucked up the Ukraine, and he assisted them by sending them X space satellites. And it's like he owns all the globes around. He owns the whole damn pretty much the global communication satellite system that he put
Yeah,
in place.
right. So you look at his business structure. What you notice is that if you paint a picture around him, right? Let's do this like a 30 second. I don't want to bore you guys with this stuff, but so he had the rocket space, which is sure rocket, but the SpaceX mainly just a vehicle, right? And then from vehicle he orbit 10,000 of satellites. So that's one of his business. The other one is Tesla, right? Tesla is now making half. They're going to make Optimus now, which is the robot. And they are like a full energy company with Tesla automation car, right? On top of that, they have AI, right? So AI is what on X right now, and XAI is what they call it, have the X function in there, which is what we are now. And then they also have the AI function, which is Grok, right? And Grok have a bunch of stuff in there, right? So like, okay, so that's done. And you have Neuralink, which is the chip in your head where if you paralyze or you have, whatever, the chip would help you to move, right? Right? And energy, right? He have solar energy, right? So then again, if you work on a civilization, what do you really need? Infrastructure. So if you can go to Mars and be able to function up there, you need a robot. So the robot is going to be on Mars first for how many years to build up infrastructure, and then they will ship in humans. Okay, uh, but if you ask me if he envisioned this right here, he didn't. Uh, Everything kind of fall in place for him, and he kind of walked through that. And I don't think he understood that I gotta make all this company right, like in a circle of survivability, right? Anyway, so now he had all the technology in the world that can run a company, can run a country. Now, I
How
want
did we
step.
get off track here in MSTR? Why are we talking about
No,
space
because
and
no,
what
I'm telling
happened?
how. No, wait, give
I
me
looked
another
up the
second.
Russian thing, and now I've come back. I'm like, what the hell are we talking about now?
Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. So, Hong, I want to correct it. It's like, as powerful he is, he does not have that global power because if any given time they can just take it from him, right? He didn't really interfere in the
Hey,
Russian war.
MSTR, this is
Yeah.
not a honk and MSTR space, dude.
Right.
Like
Okay.
you guys are a
Okay.
bunch of knuckleheads. I love you, but fucking A. Anyway, so I looked up Russia and their oil. So Trump did ease for about 30 days, okay? But Russia can still sell their oil to India and China. And India has been known for doing a lot of shadow fleets where there's a tanker with an Indian tanker out in the middle of the ocean, Indian Ocean, which is very large, and they just transfer from like an Iranian tanker or a Russian tanker to their tanker. So, yeah, so Russia is still selling their oil and China's still buying it. Um, so that's to answer that question. Now, I don't know where you guys left off because it didn't make any sense to me, but I asked Hermit to actually and Moni to take over, but you two effers took over.
I mean, I wasn't really
Yeah,
gonna, I wasn't really gonna
I
say
was I was
much anyway.
I was bringing up.
Yeah,
This is what I'm telling you, Hermit. Like you
dude,
start talking, don't talk over my co-hosts.
that's
Go ahead, Hermit.
I was just gonna say I wasn't really gonna add too much to it anyways. I was dealing with some Discord stuff while you guys were chatting. And yeah, so I will say this. I will say this. Robinhood, I don't trust Robinhood at all. It is what it is. Like it's cool that they're doing it, I guess. But I'm not like oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. Like it's nice that, another I guess exchange thing is getting more into crypto. It's getting ahead of the game. Like, I guess if you were just like doing like a Fidelity or whatever app you may, whatever TradFi app you might be using. And I think with Robinhood, it's just, I think it's just might be a lot easier to use. I have no clue. I mean, I've used it a couple of times and then I just quit using it. So, should I get back on the bandwagon? Possibly, but I I can get the majority of my stuff done without it. And am I missing out on stuff? For sure. I probably am missing out on a ton. And you know, who knows? I just got a lot of other things that I'd rather think about than Robinhood. And whoever does really well on it, that's awesome. And like I said, maybe I'll get on there and try to figure things out at some point. But there's if anybody
Hermit,
if anybody
they're
was
bringing back retail though, right? Robinhood is a very retail type of
it is. I,
platform, and X is all retailed as well. There's no
I,
institutions involved.
but I agree. But but see, the thing is, Coinbase was retail, whatever, and
Not really. It's kind of both because like
well,
strategy, their cold storage, that's all on Coinbase.
well,
They do
I,
all their OTC deals on Coinbase.
again, it just comes down to I could care less. I don't need to dick around in Robinhood. I can dick around out in the other stuff. Like, I feel like I'm in the deep end. For anybody who wants to get into the shallow end, fine, that's fine. And I just think it's unfortunate that everybody basically gets a hard on or whatever just because it's meme coins. Like, that's the one thing anybody talking about Robinhood is talking about meme coins. And that's the saddest thing, is that it's like, for anybody to want to get into crypto, it's like, oh, just start doing meme coins. And it's just like, you know what? Let's just, I don't know. It's like back in the day when everybody was,
Hey, I love my XRP, okay?
that's fine. You can love your XRP. I don't have to love it, but you can love it all you want. I don't know. Like, for Robinhood, it's like, dude, it's like there's so much more out there, and the majority of people who get into crypto and then they get into the meme coins and then they get fisted by these meme coins, and it's can people make a shit ton of money? Yeah, sure, they can. It's like playing the lottery on a daily basis. It's like the lottery scratch off tickets every single day, nonstop, and you don't even have to leave your house to do it. But I don't know, like, cool. And again, it comes down to, I'm sure they're gonna do some pretty cool shit. EAC can educate me later at some point, but again, for retail, cool, but the majority of the money is institutional, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is. All right, I think that's all.
Yo, so yeah, I never even used Robinhood, and they're not pushing memes, bro. That's just this
Can you in
space that's
Canada?
pushing those memes.
Because
Um,
Canada has like
because yeah,
yeah.
like they don't even have like they only have like memes that have already made it like to a blue chip, like Pepe and like Trump and stuff. They don't have like any of those memes that are launches. They're not listed on Robinhood. But and I'm not bullish on centralized systems either, but we need something that brings the normies in, and Robinhood has the normies. Coinbase, they never had the normies because everyone in Coinbase is into crypto. um, X app, they have the normies. We're just a small little niche here talking about crypto. The people on X are all talking about like Iran war and stuff in spaces with like thousands of people. Those are the ones that we want to like. Those are the people that we need because we need users to survive. Because we won't survive unless we have users.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I like that.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you, EAC.
Yeah, and look, I'm on my Robinhood app right now, and there's a lot of new features since I haven't touched Robinhood in so long. Um, but yeah, dude, not only do they have their own blockchain, they have a lot of new options here. Like I said, I'm working on their AI agentic, so I could have my AI trade on there. There's, because they also have a non-custodial wallet too. There's a Robinhood wallet as well. So like I said, I'm kind of learning it a little bit, and I'll probably talk about it. But the whole point of our space, like, is we're indifferent, right? Like we're here to try to make money or we are making money on the during the bear market, and I love the bear market because a lot of the noise is gone, and we can focus on these gems, these opportunity plays, right? What's up, Honk? What did you want to say? Don't get
No,
us
no,
on some crazy comment.
no, bro. I was just filling in some dead air. Nobody was talking, so I just
Well,
I just
that's
put
how
out
Hermit
a
do.
thought, just an idea of where Elon was going with his whole infrastructure.
Yeah, dude,
And
who
MS,
knows, bro? He's going to
right,
space. He's going to AI. Now he's taking over banks. Like,
too much.
Modi, how do you feel about I thought that was XRP's play. Do you think they're going to partner? Because I just Googled it.
Yes,
And
100%.
oh, you think
100%. Yes.
Elon and Garland House are going to form a deal?
I believe that oh God, I believe really that XRP is gonna be playing with X, working with Elon. I really believe so because Elon has posted a very, well, not very long time ago, but like about 5 years ago, about crypto. You've been following how that XRP is gonna be like the very top coin of the world, and he posted like very like it's in a picture, so no one is just, they're just gonna look at the picture and the first thing they will see is all these crypto coins. But to an average like person, yeah, they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, crypto is gonna be number one, okay, but like they don't really look at it. But all the freaking XRP maxi, they like rant and rave about this, how like holy crap, he just let me see if I could find this post. But like,
Yeah.
how XRP runs with, like it's gonna be behind like running all the crypto because it's like, it's the fastest coin and it's the cheapest. So like how when you buy Bitcoin, it's like, oh my God, it's gonna cost you so much money. But let me see. I think he posted like 5, 6 years ago. So he
While
posted
you
like,
find that, Moni,
okay,
I
I'll
swear,
post it. I'll post it on top. But it
yeah,
says like one coin to rule them all. But I think this was during the time that he just it was still Twitter. It wasn't X yet. I believe. Then shortly after it became X, but it was crazy, like how like we're like, holy shit, I think that X is gonna become like the money thing. And this way before X money started trending, like 2 years back or a year back when he was working on it. So yeah, unless
But
Andy's
what
gonna
has
call me out and say I'm
what
wrong.
no, but what has this got to do with XR?
well, I can answer that,
When
Andy. So
Elon Musk
Darling
post
House.
something about
So
the
Andy,
dog, post something about his dog, everybody will
no,
say that he's that dog, right?
Andy,
So what did
Darling
he
House
actually
and
post?
Elon Musk were during the previous administration. They were sided against SEC. Now, obviously, the SEC is on crypto side, right? So they're kind of like two peas in a pod. And like I confirmed it, a lot of XRP think that they're gonna partner with X Money. Like if we've talked about this. If you Google XRP right now on YouTube or YouTube search for XRP, XRP's they're always bull posting on YouTube, but they're what they're saying is like, with the Clarity Act, XRP is going to pump. With XPay, XRP is going to have inroads there. I think the XRP army is all over this.
No, but there's no logic, bro.
It doesn't
What
need
is the
any
logic?
logic. That's how XRP army works. I
No, no.
listen
So
how crazy some of their theories are,
no,
but
no, bro.
people believe it.
We are not here to amplify any form of
No,
bullshit, right? So
I'm just telling you.
where is no? So let me just go back to this, right? You can imagine, you can hallucinate anything, right? Like I said, Elon Musk can post a dog. Elon Musk can post a this. You think that you are that.
Yeah,
Where is
Doge
the
is
proof
definitely
that
an
is coming?
Elon. X money is going to
No,
be
no.
Doge too.
Where is the proof to say that X money is integrating with XRP? Where is the
There's
what
no
is that
proof.
link? Is it because
In fact, yeah, there's no proof.
it's just bullshit then? You
Well,
get what I
yeah, of
mean?
course, but a lot of this right now is bullshit and speculation, right?
No, but Moni is saying that she has some kind of proof, right? So I really want to see
We're
that proof.
not talking about it was just like a proof, but it was just like how Elon posted it. And because the XRP people are so into XRP that, why is this coin? Is this so popular? And why is this at the White House? And why is it like, all these things? And it was not just rumors. And
What
it
has
was
it got
just
to do with XRP? These are the things that we often hear on spaces, right? People say really confidently, but there is no proof. It's fine. How do you even get the relation? Just because both of them have an X in the surname, XRP, X money, then they are like brothers and sisters. I mean, how did we all get into this kind of
Andy.
Andy,
hallucination, man?
XRP is waiting to pump. All the people that are
No,
holding,
it's fine. They can pump whatever they want, bro. But
yeah,
the thing is, what has it got to do with Elon Musk?
Can I ask
That's
you,
my question.
Andy? I have a question for you. I'm not sure. Can Elon Musk, if everyone think he is a businessman, richest man, smartest man, does he can launch a X chain, X blockchain, or launch X USDT after? I don't know. I just want to ask you, Andy. What do you think if you are Elon Musk? You want to use the
I
other
will
chain
not.
or use
I, will-
your
I
own chain?
will. I will not launch. If I'm him, I will not launch any chain because it's just pointless. Because the money that he wants is not the crypto money, right? The money that he wants, he wants distribution, he wants accessibility, and all he needs to do right now is to get the license. Once he get the license, he has the support from all the big money, institution money. He's going to be a winner, no matter what. So in my whole opinion, there is no need for him to have any chain at all, and
no,
it's actually
you're
more
absolutely right.
nimble,
He's
more
not going to
nimble
touch
to have no
crypto
chain.
now. Now that he's
Yeah,
gone this direction, there's no way he's going to risk all those money transmitter licenses with having crypto. That's just going to
yeah, he
bring
will be
bad,
gone, bro.
bad, you know,
Well, wouldn't the Clarity
bad
Act
news.
sort of shift that narrative?
Yes, but I think the
Uh,
Clarity Act is going to take time for actual institutional adoption to take place, right? Like the SEC has their guidance, their rules. It's going to be a while before they smooth it out.
holy shit, I can't believe I found it. This shit took forever. I was like, holy shit, I thought that he was gonna delete that post because everybody was like, holy crap, like this post got freaking big when he posted it. And everybody's looking at this shit coin. He's talking about the shit coin. Fondo is the underdog and blah blah blah. But dude, you look at the picture, what he wrote in the picture says one coin to rule them all. See, look at the top coin, you're like, oh shit. So that's why XRP people was like fucking freaking out about it that year. And then shortly after, because everybody was like, there was a big talk that, oh shit, he's gonna try to make X into like a whole money system, or Twitter into money system, because it wasn't Twitter. I mean, it wasn't X yet at the time. And that's how it came, like shortly after he changed Twitter to X. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're just like, this is all just a talk. So that's why.
so anyone, if my father has a mustache, and my friend's father has a mustache, they are all my father. There's no relationship at all, man. Fuck, man.
I
Am I
mean, do you
am I
want
just
X to work with BNB?
no? I don't want. It doesn't make any sense. The X can actually open up BNB, XRP, and whatever coin as a mode of payment. That's easy.
I mean,
They have already done it
yeah,
in many
they
ways.
could just
But
do an
what
interoperable machine, just connect them all. It's not hard.
correct, correct, because their final denomination that they are trying to collect is US dollar. So they don't care whether you are a crypto US dollar, dog US dollar, or chicken US dollar. As long as your final denomination is a US dollar, aka a stable coin backed by US dollar, they will love you. That's it. They don't. He doesn't care whether it's your dog coin, cat coin, or whatever coin. Final denomination, money, USD.
100%.
That's it, man.
That's
Sorry,
what
man. I
institutional adoption's involvement in crypto is, right? That's why they're tokenizing stocks. That's why they're tokenizing gold, because all those things have a dollar value attached to them.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with crypto. Even the Clarity Act, in my humble opinion, I say this like so many times, there's nothing to do with crypto. And in fact, the silliest thing is how they determine decentralized network as decentralized, and then how they look at that 20% as a golden rule. That must be stupid, man. To even come out with that rule and put it onto paper and tell people that this is the rule is fucking stupid. You know, why did we give the power to the government, to the regulators to come up with stupid rules that's going to slap on our face and their face eventually? So this is just not smart, man, dudes. I better stop talking. You know, I don't want to offend any degens. You know.
Dude, you're fine, bro. We're the designated degens, bro. We're trying to do degen responsibly. And so thank you, Andy, for like your opinion because, you're a smart dude. You know, you work with banks, you work with venture capitalists. This is what Robinhood, institutional adoption, this is what X Money's doing, right? It's becoming a bank. I think they, in a sense, with the Genius Act, that they can maybe make up these 4% and 6% APYs by doing something along those lines, because Genius Act, like you said, was not about crypto either. It was about a payment rail. So I think all this stuff is kind of coming together. I've always talked about Elon having ulterior motives, being able to create credits like a technocrat movement was trying to do. So I'm watching this, as a conspiracy theorist, and I want to be ahead of it. But look, it's still at the end of the day, we're in a bear market. I think this X money is exciting. They're giving free money. There's not a lot of liquidity. EAC's point, Robinhood is adding a bunch of users. And by the way, EAC, they Robinhood has prediction markets. So now Kalshi and Robinhood has prediction markets. We're still waiting on Polymarket.
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
like waiting on the Clarity Act. I think that, and then that it's like
I think
everyone's
that's
like going to
foolish
be able
because
to like release the hounds.
yeah, I just think that's foolish, because the United States market is huge. If they could do it now, they should, because now, Robinhood is starting to get people to do prediction markets. Because I didn't like Kalshi, but I'm looking at the prediction markets on Robinhood, and some of them are pretty decent. I'm telling you. Especially if we can hook our AI up to it. Remember how you asked AI like Grok to bet on your prediction markets, which ones were valuable? I guess we could do that with Robinhood now.
Well, I did just ask AI, what's the chances that X Money like has crypto in it one day, and it's 80%. So I think like yeah, he's not going to launch his own blockchain and crypto token or nothing, but like if things come on chain and he wants like people to trade, yeah, I think Bitcoin and Doge will come to X Money eventually.
Yeah. This is we're getting close to the top of the hour. We usually run this space for 2 hours. I don't mind running it over if Moni and Hermit want to do it. But I do want to say we covered a lot in this episode. If you missed any of it or you know of anybody, make sure you to check out rumble.com/EACNFT. He's recording this. I don't record. This is another example of X doesn't support spaces, so I'm not supporting them by recording it. So I'm let EAC, you can get monetized instantaneously on Rumble and paid in crypto. So support EAC, go follow him. He needs followers. And yeah, there's a lot. And you can actually go back and listen to some more designated degen spaces where we talk about making money in the bear market. I think, Hermit, how many episodes? I keep getting, I think it was like 9 episodes, from prediction markets to bots. We already covered trading bots, leverage trading, airdrops, all sorts of ways to make money in the bear market. So we're going to continue to do that. And so this was a really good week for crypto, I think, in the bear market. What's up, Ming?
Yeah, before you just close up, I have a question. I know Andy is here. I didn't talk to Andy too much on your space. I just thinking of a question. You talk about Robinhood. I reckon that's the best time for Robinhood, this kind of the company tapping in the crypto market for marketing strategy. I know lots of the central platform like OKX, like BitGet. Forget about the Bit, they closing down. Lots of small closing down. I know central platform. I don't know anything about. We know you know me, Ty. We support BNB, Binance.
Yeah, but
Do
that's a
we? Do
good
we?
point.
Do we?
We
I don't
didn't
know,
talk about
Andy.
that, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
BitGet and Bitmark shutting down. That's huge.
Yes.
But
What do you think,
uh,
Andy? What are your chance for the BNB, Binance, OKS? These big guys want to tap into American market. Do you think they have a chance or they left behind with Robinhood? Thank you, Andy.
I think they all have a chance to die, right? Because if you guys really look at the market right now, every single exchange, they serve the same products, right? Same. You know, if you guys can disagree, and the worst fucking part is that we thought that, oh, crypto, but every other fintech company is now an exchange as well, right? Robinhood is also like an exchange. Revolut is also like an exchange. They do all the crypto stuff, right? And then when Clarity Act kicks in, all the banks become an exchange too. So eventually everything will normalize, and many of these guys is just going to be dead, right? Because crypto doesn't have a selling point right now. It's not decentralized. It's a very centralized coin. All these people, including Professor X from Coinbase, is chasing for liquidity, right? To see who can get the final, who can get the final throne or whatever. I don't know. But in my humble opinion, from a pure economic standpoint, is that many of them will be dead because they are all offering the same shit and there is no product differentiation. The only thing that differentiates from them is just that product brand name and how big your brand is. That's about it. Right. So sooner or later, all of these
And you
bullshit
and you forgot
things are just going to die.
how new they are. They're just a new shiny object, bro.
Oh,
Robinhood chain was supposed to be RWA, right? And what are they doing now? There's just degens over there, bro.
no,
It,
they are
it
still
was supposed.
RWA.
I know, but they only did like 12 million in total, like up to date
They are
liquidity in
12
RWA.
million.
They have
No, the
Robinhood
numbers are wrong
so
because
there's a lot of venture
they are the top.
capitalists too at Robinhood chain. And if you've been tracking, I know Andy has because he deals with venture capitalists. The venture capitalist money has been drying out for a while.
Oh, it's all dead, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Andy again makes so many good points, guys. Make sure you're following him. Make sure you join his blockcast group. Also, if you go to my link tree or go to his profile, he has a book out. It's called Web 4, The Age of Autonomous Intelligence, not artificial intelligence. Dude, the book is excellent. I'm reading it very slowly, but my favorite part is about he talks about what 2035 is going to look like with your own AI agent. You know, if you've ever, like me, read books like Fahrenheit 451 or, Brave New World, Andy has a great insight of what the future is going to be like. So thank you, Andy, for doing that and everything you do. I appreciate you, man. Like I said, we shill here on my space. So I'm going to shamelessly shill you and your book on my link tree.
Thanks, bro. But in 2 days' time, my son is going to come out with a book, and I'm actually the co-author. So there might be
Well,
there
we'll
might be a
shill
new
that
book.
too. What's the book
There
on?
might be a new book. It's called AI and Us. So AI and the us as in like a big US in front. Hopefully the people will buy the book because they love US. But yeah, we are simply trying to say us, man. But yeah. Anyways, no, the book is a book, right? But I think the concept that we have to really stay ahead is how are we going to look at AI and how are we going to look at crypto and how the two of them can be decentralized and how the two of them can work for us in the future, right? If we kept talking about just buying stock on in the crypto wrapper, I think we're just wasting our time, right? Because all this narrative is just going to come and go, and
It's all
then
noise.
we Yeah, it's nice, man. So the main thing is to get back to our selling point. Is our selling point decentralized? Is our selling point being fair? Can we continue to have that? If we can't continue to have that, then we will just be like what Professor X said, a crypto got to pivot,
Yeah.
pivot
No,
into
no,
other RWA.
that's why your book makes sense. Web 4, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
man.
we're already there. That's the crazy part. Like, we've been talking about using AI on Robinhood, right? And using AI to trade for you. And again, it's autonomous, not artificial intelligence. It's built on algorithms, and like I said, they're more successful than most traders, right? That's the whole benefit of using autonomous intelligence. You
Well, hold
use
on.
AI right now just to make like decisions and
Tex,
gain knowledge. What's up, B?
can I just ask a question? Like, what is the
Absolutely.
difference between artificial intelligence and automated, autonomous?
Yeah, please. Andy, you want to answer this? You're probably more qualified. Oh, okay. Well, maybe Andy will chime in. But so autonomous intelligence, right, is basically imagine yourself like cloning yourself and having your autonomous agent, right? Your AI, I'd call it, doing all the things that you like are just too busy to do. So it's like multiple, like, have you ever said, like, I wish I could clone myself? I got so much to do. And a lot of that's remedial stuff that you can train a bot to do. So that's what autonomous intelligence is. What artificial intelligence is that fairy tale story about, computers are going to become sentient and conscious and it's going to start making decisions for us. I don't think that's ever going to ever happen. But it's going to be very close to looking like that. But all it is really autonomous intelligence. So AI and artificial intelligence is a myth, and autonomous intelligence is what like the smart people are actually doing. Also, I'm going to shill the book Freedom of Money. CZ has a lot of money because of crypto. And he, back when he was in school in Canada, he studied, he had a big part to do with autonomous intelligence. He's gotten away from it because he was running exchanges, running software companies, all that stuff. Well, now he's going to start investing in it. So, I think it's something that we definitely need to look into as, crypto grows. And, one thing Andy and I both agree about is we need to re-decentralize because as you guys already know, Bitcoin's becoming more centralized with all these industry players and miners and things like that. We have to continue to decentralize because these centralized controls, governments, etc., banks, they want to control everything. Central banks, it's in their name. So we have to continue to decentralize, and that's what we're trying to do with these autonomous intelligence bots is that we're decentralizing because those autonomy like literally doesn't connect. We run these AI agents on our own system. It's not connected. So a lot of the AI that you see, like Grok, Claude, all that, that's connected to the cloud, to their database. But the technology has basically gotten to the point where we can run it on our computer. What's up, Ming?
No, I didn't say anything. Text. Sorry.
Oh, I saw you raise your hand.
You're the wrong.
B, does that answer your question? I get really passionate about it.
I'll add one more thing
Yes.
that. Sorry, B. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying yes, and please go ahead.
Yeah, nothing we can see, but even the AI they're trying to control as well. This centralized everything.
Yeah, including Elon Musk, right? I honestly think that he bought Twitter or X because he shifted everything. At first, it was supposed to be this, town hall where we can speak freely, right? And then they kind of pulled back on that. We saw a lot of accounts get suspended.
Well, hold
I
on.
mean, it's not as bad. What's that, B?
He put the CEO, basically this woman